All right, everybody ready? Let's get it going. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vexus, a lurking legend. Y'all can just call me Vex. I am so happy to be back with my wonderful crew here today with you all, chat, for another wonderful Scarlet Pirates session. It's been too long. It's been what, like 2 long weeks, and we are finally back. I hope everything sounds good, it looks good, and whatnot. I've been doing a couple streams over with the Eternal Dawn crew. Make sure you guys go check them out if you haven't already. We got some spicy streams coming up later on in the week and whatnot. And yeah, I'm just been kind of working on a whole bunch of other stuff, IRL, and some other projects. I've got a video coming out soon, so make sure you check out all the links in the description to support the homies, the other One Piece D&D groups, and all of my wonderful players here. We're gonna get into a bit of a recap here after I get them all introduced. Speaking of those wonderful players, first up we have the Shipwright of the Scarlet Pirates. We've got the man, the myth, the legend himself. We've got Partypete being played by, I'm sorry, Bang Deboo being played by Partypete. Sorry, I'm rusty. I'm out of practice. What's good, brother? How you doing?
Greetings and salutations. Long time no see, folks. Glad to be back. And yeah, Bang Deboo is grateful to be alive every day, and I just want to say that. On the front end. So yeah, we're ready to go.
Okay, that's how we're starting it off. Next up, we have the Helmsman himself. We have the absolute GOAT that is Bau Davos, being played by Mikey D, aka Torimori. How you doing tonight, brother? Where's that boy at?
His power level's so strong we can't even hear him.
I don't know if Mikey's having mic issues or what's going on, but chime in when you can, brother. Moving right along, next up we've got the first mate of the crew himself. We have a fellow member of the Eternal Dawn, and trust me, no relation when I say this, we have NoChill Dill, played by NoChill Dill. How you doing tonight, bro?
Yo, here back once again to solo as per the usual. You know how we do. How's everybody doing in the chat? Love to see it. We're back as always. Back again, as some say. Scarlet Pirates are back again.
Okay, I'm gonna get copyright struck eventually for that. Probably, maybe. I'm gonna cut you off, but next up, we have a new addition to the crew. We have somebody who loves to chef it up, like myself with the chef hat here. We have the chef and marksman of a crew. We have Julian Casacasa, aka Cece, played by StrawHatLucas.
Hello, it's me, your boy. Skinny StrawHatLucas.
I swear.
But no, I'm doing good. Go subscribe to my channel. I just got to tell you, Vex, Cece, the thing that she treasures most in this world is her newfound crew in living. Loves to live.
Loves to live. Oh my god.
Yeah, just loves to live life.
Living the dream, as always,
exactly.
Right? That's hilarious. Next up we have our brother in arms. We have a man by many names, Lord Azrael, being played by Lord Vegeta, aka Gate Guardian, aka Ragnelius, aka Ragnar. How you doing today, brother?
Guess who's back?
Oh my god. Y'all got some energy tonight. I love it. Let me see.
Guess who's gonna be back next session? The same characters. Woo!
That's wishful thinking. Mikey, let me see, I still can't hear from you. Let me know. Give me a mic check. Mikey check. Interesting. Not getting anything from you, brother. Maybe try disconnecting entirely and popping back in. I don't know. But we'll get your intro in due time. Last but certainly not least, we have the captain of the Scarlet Pirates themselves. The namesake of the crew. We have Captain Scarlet, the future queen of the pirates, being played by Balincc.
Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, chat? What's up, Vex? Can't wait to see what we got going on. Glad to be back after that little week break we had. Hopefully, no corn this session. That's about it.
Bruh. Hopefully, no corn. Yeah. Also, does your character love living? Because that seems to be a common theme here amongst the crew.
Yes, my character likes to live.
And we got in the chat there, torimori 13 with the wrench said, "This is Mikey's official intro. What's up, y'all? I hate microphone applications." Yep. So that hopefully we get that figured out ASAP. Chime in as soon as you can, and we'll let you know when we can hear you, Mikey. But yeah, to to explain a little bit to why the whole crew is saying how much they love to live, you guys. I harmlessly, just posted in the Lurking Legends Discord, link in the description. I told the crew, hey, no big deal, completely unrelated to tonight's session, or like I'm gonna give you guys backup character sheets, and if you feel like it, feel free, go ahead and make a backup character if you would like, and they all started freaking out. I don't know. Leave a comment in, if you think that, there's nothing to freak out about, nothing to worry about. Leave a
comment if you think it's justified.
Leave a comment either way. We appreciate the engagement, but make sure that you like the stream. If you're here live, you're an absolute goat. If you're watching this in the future, we love you. Thank you so much. One of our streams, I think it was like session 36 or something like that, got like 400 views, which is a very uncharacteristic for my channel, a channel of my size, so that's huge. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much. Make sure you guys are subscribed, make sure you like the stream, and we are gonna have a couple more break weeks coming up, but we've got I believe 2 back-to-back spicy sessions planned. One of first of them is going to be tonight. So I'm very excited, but just to recap what was going down when we left, we last left off, and the crew had decided to take a long rest at long last, and they had gotten completely rested up. It's now, I believe, the middle of the night. We're gonna call it like 2:30 at night, and they had noticed that the enormous sea beast in the distance is still being battled and dealt with, and so that is something that they have been told by multiple individuals to avoid. They've heard now multiple times, do not go to Lake Cole. They had also had the thought to contact their ship and the remaining crew that were left parked over by a broken down, overgrown old port. And they had thankfully gotten in touch with them and found out that their ship was flung by a tidal wave into murky swamps in the distance, beyond the rice fields and Azrael fields, and much to the north of Lake Cole, where the just absolutely enormous sea beast is currently being held at bay, and could be laying waste, at any potential moment. But some crazy powerful Marines are keeping it at bay. But it is almost to scale, as what you can see on the map here, which is enormous, multiple miles wide. Like it's gigantic, and that is but the tip of the iceberg, I assure you. So they've been told to stay the heck away from there, and they had wanted to go and rescue their shipmates who are currently trapped inside of a swamp, and more or less landlocked, for lack of a better term, as their ship was flung from the ocean. And that's immediately where we're going to be picking up with you guys. Leaving Azrael Fields is the thick of the night, and the rain has continued throughout your whole 8-hour rest. Is there anything anybody wants to ask or say or anything, and get out of the way before we get completely into it?
Yeah, as we start walking, Cece's gonna say to the group, "Guys, don't you just love like the feeling of being alive?"
Oh my god!
I mean, some of my best moments I think I've ever had were while I was alive. So I think, how could you not love it? It's
Of course,
the best.
the best.
Wild.
Unaliving is kind of like the eternal silence that's deep inside of all of us.
Yeah, you're creepy, but true.
Yeah, Baby Boom just
I am
like
very
constantly turn away.
Oh god, it's Mikey. It's Mikey. What's good, bro?
Let's go.
Hey, okay. I was just gonna say, Davos looks around with a bit of a scowl, and he's like, "I'll be honest, I kind of forgot how much I didn't miss the southern rains."
Hell yeah. Davos, you would actually also know that somewhere around here, beyond the rice fields, but before the swamp, also known as like the plague lands by some and stuff like that. Like this is like a place that like it was no. Like it was definitely taboo back in the day as you were a kid. There's a lot of places you were told not to go. And some of them you were like, screw that. And you and your delinquent hood rat friends would go and, chill and stuff like that. Like, this was not one of those places. This is a place with much superstition. And you have heard that there was even like a chunk of your life where like you thought that this was like where hell was, because you remember that like hearing when you were like a kid and you didn't have a firm grasp on like death. You were like, oh, that's where this person's grandma went. You later grew up and found out that that's actually because this is where the graveyard is. Most of the folks from Livneal Kingdom proper, they are buried near here. There's a graveyard, a cemetery beyond the rice fields, but before the thickest parts of the swamp and things like that. There's also an old Port Desolé, that is no longer recognized by the local government or the Marines, and it's been run down. And that's where you guys kind of parked near. And you knew that it was not very well trafficked or paid close attention to or anything like that. You remember when you were a kid, you used to hear rumors like, oh, that place is haunted. But surely you didn't think anything of it, right?
So Davos would have consciously probably come to terms with like the reality of what's here, which is like there's nothing that weird. It's just like where our dead get buried. But some of that superstition has remained kind of subconsciously in his psyche. And as we're like heading forward, he very much wears that side of his feelings right now on his face. He's like looking around, he's like shifty. His quarterstaff is held in hand.
And Cece, you would be well aware as another local of Livneal that in the Chateau de Papier, there's obviously a fiction section, and there's some horror stories, some even local, and many of them often refer to this place, specifically during this time of year. But you've never, they're in the fiction section. You believe some very interesting tales, but clearly, dead men tell no tales. These are all clearly just superstitious. Nothing's crazy to read into here, but you've heard of, this corner of the South, most assuredly, right?
Yes.
And as you guys are approaching, you pass by some hills and some trails winding through rice paddy fields that have been inundated with water. You can see some lily pads that have spilled in and some like uprooted shrubs and things like that here and there. Some disturbed like trenched land that the tidal surge has kind of like just thrown around. As you start to steady march, you guys are kind of like hoofing it right to get towards your ship. You guys notice that the land beneath your feet is soft and is still holding a lot of that water. And for you, as you guys are all marching after about another half an hour, it's easily around like 2:33 in the morning at this point. There is a cemetery gates with a bit of a fog wrapping around it, and you are they have been sprung wide open, seemingly from the flood waters dispersing out into the rest of this chunk of Livneal and tearing through the rice fields that you guys just cleared. And so like you see that they're like bent and warped out of shape a little bit, and you can kind of see not too far ahead of you because of the fog. But would there have been any reason for Cece or Davos in their past to have ever visited this particular cemetery?
I think Cece would have traveled there at least once to look for rare forms of vegetation, but once upon seeing the state of it, probably would have left and not stayed there for any extended period of time.
And what about Davos?
Davos, no, Davos has never been here. One time, well, he recalls one time the gang, particularly one of the guys, Sam, tried to get them all to come up here, them and all the boys, but Davos quickly put a stop to that and was like, nope, we are finding other activities for the day.
Probably a good call.
If this looks as creepy as you described, Bangy Boom would kind of ask the group, do we actually have to walk through here?
If you want to get to your ship, I'm going to say yes, because the swamp is like
You
right
scared?
I mean,
I'm gonna be poking.
I just don't.
You scared?
I'm just gonna point, because you said it's like foggy and like damp and stuff, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point ahead at the gate. I'm not walking into obvious traps. So, do you think anyone has ever walked into something that looks like that and come out okay?
We've done it plenty of times.
Hell yeah. Is the water that's pooled on the ground seawater?
Um,
From the rain?
It seems to be a mixture of bog water as well as salt water. There seems to be the occasional lily pad and like pond frond that are strewn about, as well as like some seashells and like starfish and things like that. Like, because clearly there has been a ridiculous and nearly unprecedented amount of water displacement here recently, right?
Cece looks visibly uncomfortable. Just
Right. We got a couple people with weak legs for the water. Is the ship in the graveyard?
You can give me an insight if you'd like, Pete, or any of the individuals who are Livneal locals or natives can roll me a history. The DC for the history is going to be just a flat 10. The DC for the insight will be a 15.
Oh, but I see. Okay.
Holy shit.
I'm
sorry.
So, yeah,
One second. What was that, Balincc?
Can I also try to roll insight?
Yeah, absolutely. Same DC, 15.
Yeah, me and Scarlet.
Shout out the crew picking up the slack.
So Bang D Boom has no real clue, but Scarlet kind of understands just by the basic lay of the land and her trusting in the W Helmsman and this new wonderful friend that they've made, Cece, that most likely the quickest way to get to where you're needing to go is through the shortest path, and there's like a cobblestone path. It seems a little bit cracked and there's like some puddles and whatnot, but like it's firm ground, versus the puddles surround it, and like the absolute like wetlands that surround. So like this cobblestone path seems to be what would take you the furthest, the quickest, and a straight line is often going to be a little bit better than trying to go around anything. Clearly going towards the sea would not be the right answer, and cutting going the long way around might take a little bit too long or get you to less civilized areas. So that's kind of like where Scarlet's head is at. Davos and Cece would know for a fact that the swamp is basically like the backyard to this graveyard. Like this just leads right into it. After a few mausoleums from some of the like old money rich families where they bury their dead, there's gonna be just a clear-cut path straight into the swamps.
To answer Ben's question, Cece's gonna be like, yeah, all we have to do is keep going straight through this graveyard and we'll hit the swamps pretty quickly. I'm sure we'll be able to find your ship by sight alone. But we get to pass through some pretty rich families' graves and mausoleums. I know you're a man who likes treasure.
You think I'm digging up graves? And
we wouldn't stop.
Mausoleums are above ground. You don't have to dig.
Right.
Did you say you have some kind of captives on the ship? That was at Ragnar.
As you guys do enter in, I'm assuming shortly after that exchange, you guys will notice that there seems to be some flooded graves. Lots of puddles around. There seems to be a lot of disturbed earth near and around where you guys are at. But all you gotta do is just walk in a straight line forward, and you're sure to be near your ship.
On the map?
You guys are at the bottom.
Oh, I didn't see. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, this is.
I'm gonna pull my mace out. Just out of general apprehension.
Love it.
Are you scared? Nah,
I'm not scared. I'm cautious. This just seems regular to you.
Yo, if there's any ghosts around here, come get this man. Get banged. I'm just gonna point at him.
Holy shit! What's up, Cece?
Yeah, I just checked my character sheet. My bolts are gone, and I cannot remember how many I have. My bolt case is there, but I definitely know I had some in there. So,
I know you used a few because I asked you last time. I don't know how many you used, but I know you used a few because last time I was like, "Are you making those out of your delicate lattice work, or are you using a straight up bolt?" So, shit, I don't know. Roll me 2d10. You got that much. That seem fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. All right. And then obviously there's delicate lattice work if you'd like. If anybody would like to look around and maybe investigate or make active perceptions. Active perceptions will be done with disadvantage, and all of your passives will suffer a -5 due to the thick fog.
Is investigations under the same stipulations?
No, because you can get up close and personal with those. What specifically are you looking at, Brother Ragnar? What's Lord Azrael? What's catching his eye? And we'll start with you.
I like looking at the bones of dead humans.
Okay. Are you walking up to one of these specifically? You can go ahead and move your token around if you'd like. There's a few plots. Some seem intact. Again, soft soil. Or some of them have been completely waterlogged and look like maybe there were they were being prepared for pending burials. Some of them seem to have completely wrecked coffins that have been spilled and turned out entirely.
Oh, spilled coffins, you say?
I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for some spilled coffins. Where are you, spilled coffins? Coffins that spill out. Where are you? Is that you over here?
There's one of them right near you, near the main road. But if you'd like to go like off to the left or right in any which way, you could go. There's a couple of them. I'm sure you would. With your roll, you notice at least 5 or 6. Damn, you are moving, bro. Whoa, hold on. Okay, so you walk past a couple and notice some just absolutely just desecrated like lands, the crazy amount of water displacement, and like there's still rain like coming down right now as you investigate.
I just want to point out to the chat, I had a problem with digging up the graves. The graves dug up themselves. I got no problem raiding them.
I have the same sentiment, to be honest.
As you go and investigate, specifically, we'll focus on Lord Azrael right now, as he's the first one who made the check. I don't believe you had advantage for any given reason, so this would be 19. I'm assuming you used guidance on yourself.
Yep.
Okay. You
That's
are going
to.
Yeah, you're going to notice a few things about this. Specifically, most of what is here is actually salt water. But there's like a fresh veneer of fresh rainwater. But because of the tidal surge that just ravaged this place, you even notice like a few little fish friends chilling in there. None of them seem familiar to you. I know you were gonna ask, but you notice that this coffin is in poor shape. The cloth lining has been completely like rotted away, and it seems like there was decay. There's a stench, there's like an odor that the rain is kind of like amplifying the smell of it. But one thing that you don't notice is any flesh or bones.
I'll take a deep whiff.
Ugh. Yeah,
that's the smell of soy death.
With a 19, you do notice a little finger, a ring finger with a silver signet ring. It remains and is just kind of floating like near the very corner of this flooded coffin.
I'm gonna pick it up using mage hand. I don't trust putting my hand in the water.
Okay. The way that I kind of envision your mage hand, because this is One Piece, you know, there's not like straight magic. I just kind of imagine you use like your innate fishman karate abilities to like put water into like a latex glove and use that as like a, you know what I mean? Like as some sort of like a mage hand that isn't actually a mage hand. It's like still something that's One Piece-ish.
You know, let's change it from a latex glove to a composite stitching of different skins.
I hate
other
that.
People.
Please stop.
No, I like that. That one's
Never-
better than a latex glove.
Never repeat that, please. So yeah, you know that's what you get off of a 19 from this one specifically. Who was next up? Was Cece. You are
just generally looking around.
You're gagging. It smells terrible. You don't notice anything. Like what you notice is that these cobbles have worn and cracked significantly. There's moss that's growing. This seems like horribly unattended to as of late. And other than a few like mounds of like wet soil and things like that, you don't really notice anything specifically that catches your eye with a 4. Where even are you? Oh, you're right there. Yeah, you're just kind of like, you're like the land had been inundated with floodwaters. You're just kind of being inundated with memories from long ago. And you remember you really didn't find much here the first time you arrived long ago searching for ingredients, and you kind of have it left a bad taste in your mind, and you don't feel like there's anything for you to find here today. Dill rolled a stealth. Okay. Yeah, in the mist, in the fog, and amongst the rainfall on the cobbles and the puddles and things like that, you are virtually undetectable, but unless anyone would like to try to perceive him. Scarlet got a flat 10. Well, you don't have oh yeah, perception is disadvantage, so you got a flat 10, Scarlet. You're just noticing a few of these little statues here and some of the gravestones. Some of the gravestones have some kind of interesting names on them. If you want to make up a name, you can type it in chat right now, Scarlet. Obviously, please keep in mind YouTube terms of service. But hold the phone. You want to what? Is there anything specific about that grave that is calling to you?
I'm just watching Scarlet do this. Like, what are you doing, Captain?
Yeah, so Scarlet, you're just going to town and digging up. That's crazy. Okay, it's gonna take you more than 6 seconds to do so. So while you're busy doing that, I'm gonna address some of these other rules. This is insane, actually. So then we have Bang D Boom, who is investigating. What specifically are you taking a look at, Brother Boom?
I guess the coffin that's right in front of me.
Okay, you find kind of much of the same that Lord Azrael had found. It seems to be that there's been a great amount of soil that's spilled out around it and kind of dirtied the cobbles surrounding it, and it's the earth that has been moved has now been replaced with water, mostly seawater with a little bit of fresh water. What did you actually roll? You rolled almost the same as him. Yeah, you are going to notice this person, whoever they were, they had a kind of a nice coffin, at least it was at one point in time, this nice coffin, solid craftsmanship, has been worn throughout the ages and the elements and whatnot, and it seems to, like, woodwork, like you know good carpentry and things like that, and this was solid once upon a time, but now it is falling apart at the seams, and this easily has to be at least 200 years old by your clock of things. Like, this thing is, endured much the test of time and can endure no longer, and there's cracks all around it and things like that. You, with your keen eye for workmanship, you maybe feel a little bit of a somberness at such quality craft, being desecrated as it is. Another thing is just like Lord Azrael, you don't notice any flesh or bone.
Do I notice any footprints?
There's puddles all around, and the earth has been thoroughly disturbed many times over by the rain and by you do not notice any footprints specifically. You do, however, notice that there is a lantern that had been flooded, and one of the panel, like the glass faces of it, has cracked. It was an oil lantern, and some of that oil is floating at the top, surrounding the outside of this coffin. So the lantern would have been outside of the coffin, not inside of the coffin, because none of the oil is in the water that is filled the inside of the coffin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And there are a few little glass shards and things like that. There is actually also a revolver that has been long rusted, that presumably this individual might have been buried with, as well as a flask. The flask is also rusted and is nearly impossible to open with your bare hands if you are going to be picking it up and attempting to do so. And you knowing what you know about firearms, this revolver would be nearly impossible to restore to operable once again.
Yeah, I'll take the flask though. Let's put it in the bag. Work on it later.
Okay. Dill, was there anything specific you were trying to accomplish by hiding?
To be revealed in detail further.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take the revolver too, because you never know. Maybe it's magic.
Yeah, you never know. Samia just kind of followed Lord Azrael. Big Azrael just kind of followed you, Bang D Boom, and Dalt is probably going to follow. I don't know. Where's Davos? He's like way over there. Interesting. What are you doing, Davos? I don't think we've addressed your whole situation here.
Yeah, I didn't roll for anything. What did you say it was? The penalty was to the passive?
A -5 to
-1?
passive perception.
Okay.
Which means you still have
I'm just
like
kind
a
of wandering.
cracked passive, I believe.
Well, I did to 10, which is okay, I guess. But yeah, I guess let me see what I can catch off of that. I've just kind of wandered down this way. I saw Lord Azrael kind of checking out that. I've kind of walked past him now. I'll see what that 10 passive gets me.
Nothing really. You and Dalt's kind of following you, and she's just like, wow, this is like super creepy. I thought that Rain was really cool and could do no wrong, and I have grown to I love water. You remember we made water angels on the deck of the ship when it first started to rain, but now I'm thinking that Rain is a little bit creepy. You okay? You seem quiet, Davos. And Dalt seems a little bit concerned.
When we first brought you here, I had hoped to show you more of the splendor and fun that I experienced here in my youth, but that was mostly in the capital. My home. I can't go back there. Instead, we're here in this bog, and our ship is aground, and this damn rain is deep in my bones. And I tell you the truth, I don't believe in the tales, but there is something foul about this cemetery, isn't there?
Well, I mean, the stench, that's for sure. But I mean, you said you wanted to show me the splendor and the beauty of the south half, and this is something we could never really have where I'd come from. I know that, you know, some of this earth has been overturned by the water a little bit, and that seems uncharacteristic. I would assume this seems like this is a really interesting way to handle your dead. But where I come from, you can't do that. You can't bury your dead in the sands, the desert. The dunes reshape themselves almost as fast as the waves of the ocean. So, in a way, this really is beautiful. So, thanks. And she kind of like punches you on the shoulder lightly, like and telling you, like, kind of like telling you with her face and her mannerisms to buck up a little bit, but without actually saying it, you know?
That's so interesting. Okay, that's really cool. Davos has been in like a hunched defensive position, like slightly, but that like causes him to ease up and like straighten up some. He holds a quarterstaff just in one hand now, and he's gonna go, yeah, I see what you mean. And he looks around, and I guess I'd like to do an active role.
Okay, perception or investigation? And if so, what are you looking for?
Oh man.
She'll give you advantage as well. So it'll be flat if you were doing a perception, because she'll help you and that levels out. If you wanted to investigate something, you would have advantage.
Word, okay. I'm gonna walk up to this
holy shit
gravestone, and yeah, as I do, what might I notice?
There seems to be a little bit of moss growing on it, but you can still see, and this is again something that withstood the test of time and many other rainy, stormy nights. But maybe this was its first tidal wave that it withstood. But this gravestone seems to bear a name, and you do notice the middle initial D. Bruh. The
What
name
is
doesn't.
so sorry, I was in shock. I know Davos isn't, but I'm pretty surprised. What other details might I be able to discern of like the lettering off of a 21, or is it literally just that middle initial I can make out?
You don't notice any major significance of the name. It doesn't ring any bells to you, but you do notice a bit of an epitaph inscribed into the stone here, which is something I'm looking for right now. I'm so sorry, hold on. But you can make up the name also if you wanted to. Like but it is a somebody of the D clan, but I'm sure your character doesn't remember what that, or know the significance of that.
Very interesting. Do I get anything off of like that mound? Like what exactly is that off of the 21 still?
It just seems to be mud, just a ton of mud that has been like kind of mounded up, and there's puddles. Yeah, there's puddles around it, but it just seems to be just chilling there. And the quote, the epitaph reads, it's like in quotes. It says, "We wondered what happiness would look like if we gave it a physical form." And it goes off on a quote that you actually remember from like a kid's book that you read a while back, like a long time ago. Not the Liar Noland, but it says the shape of happiness might resemble glass. You don't usually notice it, but it's still definitely there. You merely have to change your point of view slightly, and then that glass will sparkle when it reflects the light.
Davos would chuckle at that, and he's gonna point with Adult beside him and go, "Look, it's kind of saying the same thing you did. Isn't that so strange how much of life depends on which side of the mountain you were born on?"
She just kind of laughs like lightly, and she's like, "Wow, that is." And she kind of puts her hand on the headstone, and she's just like, "That's beautiful." It kind of reminds me of the whole glass house situation, right? Like a little bit, but in a weird way. And she like shakes her head. She's like, "No, I guess never mind. That guy was a weirdo, right?" Like,
he was a freak. He was a creep. He was a piece of crap. What can I say? But I'm not gonna lie to you. When we first saw the glass house from afar, it looked pretty cool.
And she's just kind of like looking around, and she's like, I wish we could have came here, you know, on a little bit prettier of a day. Like she's like, but this place is kind of cool, you know. If you just don't breathe in through your nose. And she just like plugs her nose up a little bit and like pinches her nostrils closed, and then she's just like, anyways, we should try finding the ship, right? Like and she just like looks around and she's like, it's weird. I can't see much because of the fog, but I could hear. There's a lot around here. She's like, I've never heard so many like little whispers. And you can kind of see she like puts one of her hand. She takes her hand off the headstone and kind of puts it uncomfortably on the opposite shoulder, and then she's like looking around and just kind of periscoping a bit. And we'll say at that point in time, Scarlet, go ahead and give me you could give me
Armless.
no, give me like a straight like attack roll if you're using your greatsword to try to uncover this.
Oh, that's a crit. It was still on disadvantage from the perception.
Yeah, that is in fact a crit. So with almost with literally just like one single strike and then the pullback from that initial strike, like almost in like a C like motion, like not like, you know, like the Legend of Zorro, like where he makes like a Z with it, like you make like a little C across this, and mud sprays out and just like kind of covers in the opposite direction of you, and just like this grave is like you easily clear like 4 or 5 feet down, and you notice the tip of a coffin pointing out. There's a ton of moisture down underneath here, and you can even see what looks to be a little pale, almost like a soft beige or tan or yellowish. It almost looks like a balloon suspended just above the coffin.
About to fight Pennywise.
Go ahead and give me either a nature or survival. With a 21, that's amazing. You notice that it, as you get closer to it and you reach out and grab it, it seems to look almost like a balloon, almost like a flower, or something in between the two. And as you reach for like the string that would be like the string of a balloon, it feels in your hand more like a stem of a flower or something of the sorts. And you very easily pluck, and you can see it very quickly lose color and almost deflate. Make a Constitution saving throw. You notice the smell of this place increasingly, almost profanely, like erupting around you. It's almost visible, this strange odor that you take a full deep breath of. And for a second, your vision strobes as if you were standing up too fast, and your blood pressures seem to fluctuate, or like you were on like a bit of a sugar high. And then you blink and kind of shake your head, and it's gone. It's back to normal, and you actually don't smell anything.
Would I see all of this happening?
Would you have walked up to the captain while she was cutting through this grave?
Yeah, the last one of mine, I said I was watching her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a Constitution save.
Okay, hell yeah. I'm in.
Yeah, it smells rank. It smells foul. It smells like a dead body ate another dead body and shit it out. It smells bad, but
Oh my god, it smells like Bigfoot's dick, guys.
okay, wow. But you don't notice any sensory effects other than just like a foul odor, and the foul odor persists.
I'm gonna look at what's in the captain's hand with like disgust and like the
Yeah, it's
like,
just
the
like
stank
this.
face you get when you listen to bass.
It's like it's almost like a pale skin colored deflated balloon. The wilted little stem.
That's gross.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything before we get to Scarlet's second exhuming?
I wanted to check this grade that I'm at.
Okay.
Cool.
I believe you rolled a 12, is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
You don't notice anything in particular outside of the fact that there is an octopus that was hidden underneath the lid of this, again, flooded yet flesh and boneless, just empty for the most part outside of water, coffin. This coffin was like floating upside down, and if you like kicked it with your peg leg to like flip it right side, there's gonna be a little octopus that flies out and will actually attempt to grapple you.
Okay.
You can make an acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
And let me find this character sheet. 1 second.
Oh, not too bad.
I don't know if it can beat an 18. It might be able to. Let me double check. Roll20 is going so ridiculously slow here. It can potentially beat an 18. Give me just a second. I'm gonna reboot my Roll20. Bear with me. But what's your initial reaction when you see this little thing like rocket out towards you, kind of?
If it fails to grapple me, I'm gonna have Bang D Blast shoot it like a heat-seeking turret. Like while it's in the air, you know, they shoot those clay pigeons.
Okay, it's just a straight. It meets, it beats. So I mean, it's like.
Wait, doesn't that apply to me? Aren't I contesting the grapple? So doesn't that mean I win?
Your modifier is a +3, and its modifier is also a +3. The way that I'll flavor this is that it like wraps around you a bit, but you're able to keep it from like fully, like it gets you, but you're able to like pluck it off fast enough before it can like get like a firm hold. Right, like, but maybe it like tugs on one of your dreads a little bit, but like no damage incurs from this. So like, but this was an extremely close call. If you were any less quick to the draw, this thing would be like completely like trying to like suffocate you, like hugging your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think back to the little like gel stuff that I have. Like, does it have like any like barb to kind of like look at the octopus? Does it have like any little teeth or anything? Is it scary or just a regular octopus?
It's got a beak in the center, like underneath all of its tentacles with suction cups and stuff. Just a normal little. It's just a little guy.
Okay, well I'm gonna scoop it in some water. I'm gonna scoop some water in a jar and put the octopus in it. Put it in a bag. Make a trap with it.
It's just like. knocking on the like comically just kind of like looking clueless, and then just like every now and then you'll hear like a little dink dink, and it's like knocking on the jar, like let me out, yo, like what the fuck. Okay.
Yeah, that's going in the bag. But I am gonna turn to Scarlet and be like, there's a lot of missing bodies here. I don't really think we should linger. For whatever reason those bodies may be missing, people are gonna come looking.
Let me do this last one. My very last one. And then we out of here.
Okay,
Some treasure or something.
you can make another attack roll, Scarlet.
Can I roll to see if I see Dill? He tried to grab me as I walked by him.
You can in fact roll a perception.
At
Or
disadvantage?
yes. I don't think
Or-
it's possible for you to beat him. There was an or, but I remembered it's raining, and I was like, no, that probably isn't going to be a thing for your
Oh, I
character.
definitely did not see him. I think there's a ghost next to me. I'm
You-
scared shitless.
You absolutely 100% think this place is haunted from moving forward.
I ran.
Yo.
That was what my explain later was. Because I was just gonna scare the first person who walked by me. Davos
Scar-
had walked by me, and
Cece's
then he
like-
changed his path, went the opposite direction. So I was like, "All right, I'm just waiting."
Scarlet,
He's like,
Scarlet,
he's like, I'll take hunting a bear over this any day, and runs off. Like,
yeah, Scarlet, you clear a couple of feet off of this of mud off of this grave. The coffin is nowhere in sight. This seems to be a little bit more densely packed earth than the one you just previously made easy quick work of. And as that happens, Cece runs off screaming. Like, what do you scream as you like freak the fuck out, Lucas?
I screamed, I would take hunting a bear over ghost any day.
So yeah,
So basically, like, ghost.
no perception needed, just with everyone's base passives, even through the rain. Everyone here will hear the word ghost and see Cece running off past the like little gargoyle statues at the end and behind the tree line in the distance, all by herself.
Oh, I don't do ghosts. Bangy Boom is also proceeding to expeditiously.
Dill knows exactly what the fuck just happened, but everybody else is like, oh shit, like, and they're like they're gonna go back up CC.
Captain, I'll meet you at the boat.
Wait, where is that? I am
don't know, come on.
Come before me.
And Samia's just like, come on, Lord Ezra, this we shouldn't leave them alone, like, and she just runs up this way.
Scarlet's trying to square up with the ghost. She's like,
Big
"Come out."
Ezra's like, wait up guys, and like these people like Scooby-Doo the hell out of here. And then Lord Azrael, do you follow suit, or are you what do you do? How are you immediately reacting to this while your captain tries to square up with a ghost and the rest of the crew like are running towards Cece in the distance? I don't know if Ragnar is muted.
He is.
Well, brother Ragnar.
I just saw your chat.
Ragnar.
Obus. Oh wait, wrong D&D campaign.
Well, I'm just gonna assume then that brother Ragnar is following suit, because I have that Lord Azrael is following suit, because I have no idea what he's up to. So everybody, Dill, what do you do? Do you head that way as well?
Oh no, I'm grabbing everyone as they walk by and doing the exact same thing.
Big Azra does not notice at all, and he's actually like so beefy that he'll buffet you and deal 1 unintentional damage, which you will uncannily dodge.
Yeah.
So everybody feels ghost groped. That's wonderful. And is running and is running off towards Cece. While Scarlet I'm sorry. Are you actually trying to beef with a ghost right now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Your response was like, why are you even surprised? Like,
I'm like, I'm gonna tell him, pull up. I'm the captain of the Scarlet Pirates, and I demand you run me of one. And if you lose, you will stop scaring away my crewmates.
Dill, how do you react to this?
Well, I start heading down there.
Oh no. Okay. At this point, Dill, make another stealth, please. Okay.
Ooh, that was tragic.
Scarlet, give me an active perception with disadvantage still. Yeah, Dill is undetectable and says boo, I'm assuming, and scares the absolute, or I don't know, attempts to scare the absolute shit out of Scarlet. If Scarlet is trying to stand firmly on business, Dill, make an intimidation or deception with advantage, and Scarlet make an insight. Flat. Oh, oh no.
Oh God.
How does this go down, Dill? You just say boo, or like what's up?
You who have trespassed on this land will pay.
As that happens, Scarlet, you cease to hear the rain. Your vision begins to strobe once again. You smell no death around you like you did before. And this voice seems to echo. Make a Constitution save. You shake your head and you can hear the rain again, and the voice is no longer ringing throughout your ears. And maybe you like sniff a little bit, like, and something nearby smells almost sweet. But there's a chill that's sent down your spine. You have goosebumps crawling up your arms, and your hairs are standing on end. Your body is terrified right now. You feel cold. And there is a bit of a sweat and pallor to your skin. And then, boom, you get flicked in the forehead by Dill. And I'm assuming you can now see Dill in front of you. Yeah, like...
Yes.
I'm like in character, she, as soon as she get flicked, she like instantly bow down. I'm sorry. Never meant to disrespect the ghost or dig in your graves. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Captain, it was me.
It's never happened.
I scared everyone.
So you were the formidable ghost.
Yeah. Cece ran away screaming about a ghost, and then everyone else became easy pickings after that, except except Big Azra. Bro's got aura.
Well, you know, if it was me, I would have fought the ghost. Cause you know I'm just built like that. Ain't that right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that, Captain.
Hey, are you guys coming or not?
But they all went this way.
Yeah, I would say that you guys are already like, all of y'all are like off the map already. And Dill and Scarlet will be shortly behind. You guys peel your way through, Cece obviously blazing the trail, past increasingly thicker and thicker tufts of trees, bushes, foliage, unmaintained, very tall grass. The mud seems to be covering much more of your feet than it was before, further making Cece much more uncomfortable, I'm sure. But there is a bit of a canopy overhead of thick leaf cover and whatnot, guarding you from some of the rainfall, but almost all of the moonlight as well. Cece, as you start darting in that direction, you hear a few of your crew behind you yelling out like Dal Wisney saying like, wait, it's not safe, don't go alone. And you see mist surrounding you, and you do not have good vision. Like you don't have good line of sight past about like 50-60 feet in any direction, not even up. And before too long, you find yourself completely surrounded by almost rainbow colored purple, red, blue, green foliage. It almost seems like a cartoonish landscape, and you are halted in amazement of these crazy ingredients that you're sure some of which have to be poisonous. And there's a bit of a morbid curiosity, as well as like oh shit, somebody just told me not to be alone. Am I lost? And you're like petrified for a moment, and a rustling of bushes behind you might even so much as startle you until the rest of your crew starts to poke out.
I'm like, listen guys, I'll fight through any woods or anything, but I do not mess with ghosts.
Relax. You know, I don't mess with ghosts either, but gotta stay in the group.
And you plan on being on this crew, you don't gotta be scared of no ghosts. Scarlet, I defeat all ghosts of all sizes
Really?
and shapes.
You capture the party.
Ghosts?
I'll tap Bangy Blast.
With one hand.
I'll tap Bangy Blast on the shoulder. He's not scared of ghosts either.
What I will say is for sure, nobody feels comfortable with their footing. This will count as difficult terrain entirely. And Dalt kind of speaks up and is just like, guys, Scarlet, do you hear that? And Scarlet, I'm gonna ask you to roll me a D100.
Completely harmless.
Please be harmful. Harmful D100. Let's go. 62.
It is almost overwhelming as you kind of like open your mind's eye to it, like whenever you and Dalt had trained and talked a little bit before, back at the abandoned storehouse, like the grain house on Aubriel Farms. You remember hearing the rain fall kind of mute itself a little bit, and all of these other voices chattering around and communing in your head, voices of things as trivial as like blades of grass or like birds flying throughout the sky, or like one sounded like a tomato or something like that. Like this is dwarfing even that experience, as you hear at the very minimum 62 voices simultaneously whispering in your mind. Some of them saying, look out. Some of them saying, like, you're warm. And some of them saying, like, just laughing. And some of them saying, be careful.
Question. Would this, like, mentally, would this take, like, any effect on Scarlet in the moment?
You make a wisdom save.
Oh.
You feel those familiar goosebumps, like attempting to climb up your arm, and chill attempting to shoot down your spine, but you steel yourself. And you remember just telling, you literally just said this to Cece, like, you're part of this crew. You don't worry about fighting no ghosts. Like, but Dalt seems to be holding up less well than you are. And you know that she is hearing the same as you, if not more, of what you're hearing. She's going through this as well right next to you, and she is visibly shaking. She's pale, she's sweaty, she's cold.
Wait, shit, I don't what do I do, dog? Do I talk back? Do I swing? I'm like, grab the hilt of my sword. Like, what do I do?
And she just like, she's just like, I don't feel very good. I can just drown out the negative voices, but, and she is actually gonna make a wisdom save right now. We'll see how she's feeling. Why am I clicking on that? I could just do this. Flat wisdom save. She kind of like sees you going through it, and after she like, you can see her brow kind of furl, and she kind of like slaps herself a little bit, and then like scoots in a little bit closer to you, and you could feel like how cold and like frigid she is to the touch as she kind of like grabs your arms, and she's just like, I'm sorry. She takes in a deep breath, and she's just like, I know I'm supposed to be the more experienced one with the voices, and we're gonna be fine. Like, we just you just gotta try not to listen to the negativity with this place. We just have to make sure we watch our backs. And she's just like, don't trust anything, don't trust the ground underneath you. And she's like kind of like freaking out. She's like, but like, we're gonna be okay, right? And she's like looking at you and nodding. And it's almost like she's telling you, but it's almost also like she's asking you, like, are we gonna be okay? But she's trying to like put on a brave face, because she knows that you're still new to listening to your surroundings like she has.
As far as the voices, I don't know, man. I don't even know if it's any. I'm gonna like try to like move my feet through the water, see if like any like fishes pop up. Like, I don't even know if it's animals around here.
So right now you guys are on solid-ish ground. But as you start to like move around, you can kind of hear water like around you. But the immediate area around you is like, there's like vines and like grass and things like that. But it is wet. Like, it's very muddy. But there is deeper water around you. Again, you can't see very well though, so you'll have to start to explore a little bit. But Big Azrael kind of steps forward, and he's just like, yeah, I think we should definitely implement the buddy system. This place gives me the creeps.
Buddy system don't sound half bad. Who wants the buddy?
Captain, I think we should send people with buddies that have Din Mushies as well, so we can keep communication.
All right, teams of 3.
Samia's like, do we do we have to split up? Can we just like stick together, please? Like,
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're scared.
Is there a particular reason to split up right here?
Big Azrael's like, I'm not scared. You're scared. Look at you.
I'm not
Scared?
scared. You
Like,
scared.
whatever. And he just kind of like flexes a little bit as he crosses his arms. Like, it's like, I'm not scared. And then there's like the hoot of an owl like right behind him, like hoo hoo hoo, and he's just like fuck. Like, okay. Oh, that was close. I almost decapitated that owl with my fist. You're scared.
Nah.
Uh-huh.
Who said that? Who said that? Like, he still doesn't see Dill. But who would like to lead the way? How would you all like to proceed?
All right. Right now, we go stay as a group until I get any like further signs saying we need to split up. I'm gonna tell them like Dill, feel free to branch off and do a little recon if you want.
Samia just kind of like looks to Lord Azrael. Ragnar, if you were there, please unmute and speak up.
Can I roll investigation on this plant in front of me?
Sure.
Purple one.
Go ahead.
Make sure I'm not still on disadvantage.
Oh yeah, I did want to check something.
15, not bad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Brother Ragnar. But I guess I'm gonna pilot his character. So for Cece, you are rolling an investigation on that plant. An investigation is significantly different from something like a nature or a survival. So what you glean from it is details about it, but it might not be quite what you're looking for. It doesn't seem to be affected by a lot of the way it has deeper roots, like, and it doesn't seem to be like uprooted like a lot of the vegetation. It seems to do well. You know a thing or two from some books that you've read in the past that these types of brightly colored like shrubs and bushes and things, they are brightly colored that way to attract the eye, which it has effectively done in your case. But it's a survival mechanism so that people will pick it up and potentially like eat it and travel, like carry its like seed elsewhere in their own body. You know, you don't see a lot of birds around here though. So that's typically a tactic that is abandoned in some of these biomes. So it's either a defense mechanism to try to like have it like be like more spread out by those birds, or if that it fails, which it seems to potentially be the case here, it's poisonous as fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna
That's
look
just
at
what you.
like, be careful.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
your
look at
first
options,
guess.
like, be careful with the plants on the ground. They seem to be highly toxic.
Highly toxic. That's great.
I bounce my feet like dancing. I'm like, ooh, thanks. Ooh.
Samia and Lord Azrael come in like right behind you, and Lord Azrael's holding open the book, and Samia is like looking at the plant and then looking at the book and then looking at the plant and then looking at the book, and she's just like, oh, fascinating. This one doesn't seem to be recorded. This could be a new species or some kind of variant, and she's just like I gotta take notes. And as she like whips out a book, you know a thing or two about books, Cece. You know that.
Oh, I have notes.
Yeah, but the reason why you might have thought not to pull out your notes and start actively jotting things down is because it's raining. It's misty. Paper doesn't hold up here like in these types of conditions, and her pulling her book out almost evokes like a visceral reaction within you. Something about you like protects books, right? And you're just like, a part of you is like, no, don't. Whenever she pulls out her notepad and starts scribbling onto it.
Samia, isn't it? You know that your pages are going to be damaged by the moisture in the air here. You should really wait to take your notes. Maybe take a sample of it. Be careful, of course, because it is very, very poisonous. But that book, and then she looks at Lord Azrael like dartingly, because she doesn't like making eye contact with him, and is like, and you need to put that away for sure, because that's property of the chateau, and it does not need to be damaged by that moisture.
And he's just like, huh? Like he's had this book like fully submerged underwater by now and stuff like that. But you do remember that book in particular is old enough and is of a specific collection that is printed on 1,000-year paper. And as you say that, Samia goes, "Oh, well, this is this book actually has the mesh and the paper fiber. It's actually bound in 1,000-year plant root. So." And she like dips it in water, like a little puddle nearby, and then like wrings it out, and she's like, "It's totally fine."
1,000-year paper. Genius. For a notebook? It's expensive.
So, oh, is it? It's just, well, where I come from, you know, it's pretty hard to come by, but like where we traveled through the Red Sand Desert, we found a ton of it. So, you know, obviously, I grabbed as much as I could.
Really? I would love to barter with you for some of it. I could take notes anywhere if I could make my journal have 1,000-year paper in it. Like,
and she's just like,
worry about the moisture.
She's like, oh, well, no problem, no bartering necessary. And you see her turn the page in her notebook and then rip a page out, and she just gives you like a loose piece of 1,000-year paper, and she's just like, there you go, free. Don't worry about it. We're friends.
And grateful at the same time. Friends. Oh, okay. Thank you. And she's like looking at like the ripped part of the paper, like, the fuck.
And then she's like, but I will take a sample if I could. And she pulls out like a little glass vial and like plucks off some of the plant here. And like she's just kind of going full geek mode over some of the specimens here. And like it's just like, it's like, ooh, a piece of candy. And then 2 steps later,
yeah,
ooh, a piece of candy.
Also taking notes now, but I don't have
a piece of candy.
I'm just writing on that 1,000-year paper that she gave me, and like, I'm not gonna pull out my actual notebook, but I am gonna take notes on these plants.
But they're going like full investigative mode on a whole bunch of the like foliage and like the flora of the area. Some of them seem carnivorous. Some of them seem like spiny. Some of them seem to have like some sort of a pheromone or aroma. Some of them seem like flowers, but are actually fungus. Some of them are completely like, they're like bulb, like pitcher plants, like I think like a victory bell or whatever. Like they collect rainwater. And there's like a little bit of like a sugary, sappy syrup that goes into the water and attracts like flies. They see like these large, think like the palm of your hand sized mosquitoes floating and then being devoured by these carnivorous bulb, like pitcher plants. There seem to be like a variety of just a crazy assortment of like fauna or flora unlike anything you've ever seen.
This place is beautiful, but I feel like it's deadly.
I'm just gonna tell them like, hey, try to collect as many of the poisonous ones as possible.
And she's just like, oh, for sure. But I mean, really, we're on the lookout for, and she like flips through and she's looking for a specific type of mushroom that it's basically like penicillin. It's like a cure-all, and this was one of the main components from that salve that Marine officer had offered all of you. And she's just like, this is top priority.
Well, I rolled that investigation because I was going to look and see if those flowers were poisonous, but I guess they're kind of
Oh,
But I do want to see.
yeah, they smell rank, but you can't really like tell like just like looking at them.
Yeah, I did want to see if that tree is the same type of wood that coffin was missing that I saw before.
What kind of wood?
From that coffin that you said was pretty like, high end or whatever.
These trees actually, what you're noticing about the tree in front of you is it looks impossibly knotted. And this tree, it looks like an MC Escher painting almost. It's like, it's all kinds of twisted within itself and like sideways, and you actually feel like it could be two trees. And it, give me a nature. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty low DC off of an investigation that was for the flowers, we'll say, and you didn't really get much info, but I'll call this a different check for you to get this. Perfect. That's exactly what you needed. This looks to be that there was a tree and there are a few dead branches in the underbrush of this tree, but then there's a more thriving canopy up above the dead branches that seem to be decaying and like rotting down, almost like a willow, like a weeping willow type of situation. You can see what looks to be two tree trunks knotted up and around one another. It looks as though one tree jumped on top of another tree and started to strangle it out, and that it's like it literally is like, it's as if the root structure of one tree completely knotted over and suffocated and is almost cannibalizing the tree below it.
That makes me want the tree to cannibalize the other tree. I don't think I have anything that really works like a chainsaw. That seems kind of tough to cut down. Yeah, I guess I'll just think about coming back later for it.
Okay. So again, you're taking like a mental note of this a little bit. Is anybody else checking out anything specifically in this immediate area, or are we moving forward a bit?
That was all I was doing.
Yeah. Big Azra is notably like looking like behind him, like every 2 steps. He's like literally being like the most cautious thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
And he can't.
Oh my goodness.
Roll 20. Oh no.
As you guys start to walk a little bit more forward, you will all notice that there seems to be a couple different types of trees here, and you notice the water and even like a fallen tree over in this direction. And this water, you're not sure how deep it is, but it is brackish water, and there seem to be a ton of there seems to be a ton of like little floating insects. You can see wasps and mosquitoes that are like, think like not just like Texas sized like insects here, like Australia sized, you know what I mean? Like absolutely enormous. Like some of these like bloatfly type things are like the size of some of your craniums, but they seem to like shy away from you all. Scarlet, with your passive, as well as anybody else who has a passive 15 or above, you're gonna notice that 1 or 2 of these wasps, as they kind of shy away, like most of you who have ever dealt with wasps know that they're a bit territorial and they don't seem very shy or like a scared of picking a fight with anything even hundreds of times bigger than it. But there are 2 of them that seem to shy away, and they have a strange looking antenna poking out of their their face area, their cranium. And Scarlet, you recognize that it's that same pale beige sand kind of colored balloon sticking straight up out of this creature.
Oh, am I able to grab one?
DC 19 if you want to try to grapple it. You're literally trying to chase like an insect that can fly. It's insanely mobile and is actively shying away from you, but you could try. So
I
you
noticed that I'm gonna grab a wasp. I think my passive's like 15.
Yeah, you would. Since they're within your line of sight here.
I just roll nature on one. Like, I'm not gonna try to grab it. I just want to try to see if I can
Yeah, I'll definitely
test
shout.
out the mushroom.
Yeah, you can.
Whatever's on top of it.
You can absolutely roll a nature. Scarlet, if you'd like, you can roll to try to grapple it. Now it will be with disadvantage.
I'm definitely gonna try to shout to Scarlet if I see they're trying to grab the wasp. Be like, hey.
What's the roll?
You could roll, but because of Bang De Boom, now it's going to be a disadvantage.
What?
Oh.
If you're trying to like stop your captain or like shout to your captain from doing this, they'll be distracted, right?
No, like what's the skill check?
You do either an acrobatics or like we'll call it an acrobatics. No, yeah, this thing is it flies a little bit too fast and nimbly, and evades you, almost like the plague. Cece.
Oh, God damn it! Bing.
Cece.
Now, Captain, why are you trying to catch a hornet?
You
put the flower in the grave.
Yeah, you noticed that it did in fact look like what you saw in the grave, and with a 17, you know that is not a flower, and it seems more like some sort of like spore, a sac type of situation. And you've heard of, obviously there are edible fungus, but in that same book, there were also fungus that are described as carnivorous fungus that
Captain,
might
I don't
perceive you
think
as
you should
edible.
touch those things. I think they're mushrooms that are like feeding on the insects.
And within this little stretch of water here, those same individuals with a 15 or above passive perception will notice within this little stretch of water, again, you don't know how far out this goes and if it maybe connects to the ocean or how deep it gets, but you do notice a fin poking out, and as it swims through a little bit closer to you all, lily pads seem to like spread out, and like pond fronds and things like that seem to be like almost trampled on. And
Yeah,
this fin gets bigger and bigger.
Captain, back up.
I'm gonna catch it.
Captain, I think that's a bad idea.
Oh my goodness. And
Last.
as you guys kind of like ready and stance up, you'll notice a large splash of this brackish water, algae and moss flinging in different directions, and there seems to be just a great odor as the surface like film of this, almost like the skin of a pudding is broken, and this water like splashes everywhere. All those insects that were feeding or being fed upon near the surface are all dissipate, quickly as can be a large, almost Lord Azrael or Big Azra sized hammerhead fishman emerges from the bog water.
Oh,
A fish? God damn it, I thought you was gonna be a fish.
And he just goes, "Oh, please tell me you've seen my friend."
What are you talking about? What is he talking about?
And he's just
Who's
kind of
your
like
friend, mister?
looking around and clueless. And he kind of has like bloodshot eyes. And he's like, "Oh, the water, it burns. Oh," and he's like, "My friend, he's not cut out for this. He's probably scared."
I'm just gonna like water from my water skin on him. It's like, there you go.
Is your friend a fishman?
And he just kind of like looks at Lord Azrael and he's like, is your friend a fishman?"
Oh yeah, that's Lord Azrael.
And he kind of like bows and he's just like, "But is he your friend?"
Mm-hmm.
And he like looks around, like kind of like periscoping and like a little bit nervous and twitchy. And he's just like, okay. Sorry." So
my sworn brother.
he's like, "Oh, so you're part fishman too? You don't look like it. Is it like..."
I'm actually more artificial than real,
He said, "All I heard was fish."
but that doesn't.
Artificial fish? Gotcha.
You know what?
And he reaches out to
that
shake your
isn't a
hand.
Damn.
Yeah, he just like aggressively
You know what? You
reaches
caught
out
me.
and shakes your hand like profusely, like just like, and he grabs with both hands. Like this guy is earnest as all hell, and shakes the shit out of your hand. And he's just like, "It's great to meet you. We don't see a lot of friendly kind here on this island. Most of them are pieces of shit. I mean, I'm sorry, forgive me." And he like kind of like, he's very timid and like bashful, and he's just like, "I mean, don't tell anyone I said that."
Nah, I feel you on that, dude. A lot of the people here suck.
Yo, so more about your friend.
Dill
When the last
cuts
time you
his
spoke?
eyes to Bang and then kind of notions to Davos and Cece and being like, "Really? They're right here, bro."
A lot of, not
And he goes, "My name's Philip, and I'm kind of lost. My friend, he's really the one who's good at directions. I just and he just kind of knocks on his head, and you hear like a thonk thonk thonk, and he's like, I'm mostly the muscles, not the brain. Sorry."
The muscles?
Oh,
Muscles.
same with my brother.
You see like immediately has like 3 light bulbs pop up on her head. Fuck out at Lord Azrael and a big Azrael and another at Lord Azrael. Yo, we might be able to get this shit moving, guys.
He goes,
Captain,
sorry,
he
my
said
name's
his
Philip.
not Azrael.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
But-
a fishman, right?
Who
Aren't they
are
all
you
good?
guys?
If Phillips helped us, we might be able to push the ship out of the port.
passing through. Don't worry. Don't worry too much. We're just trying to get back to our ship. But what does your friend look like? I don't know if we haven't really seen anybody around, but I don't know.
Oh, you couldn't miss him. He's big, blue, round. He says actually like every 2 words. He's a real smart guy. Like he's just enormous too. Like you
How
really
big?
couldn't miss him.
How big?
Well, he's not like as tall. Like he's not like big like this, and he like holds his hand up high like you must be this tall type of shit. He's big like this, and he holds his hands out wide like I caught a fish this big like type of shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, so he's like a rotund. I see what you mean. Yes. All
I
right.
think he's saying he's fat.
Dill's
Yeah.
mind starts running, and after hearing the words actually in every 2 words, he's like, wait a minute, that's 2 words. So does he only say actually?
Philip starts scratching his head, and you could like see like a visible sweat, and he's just like, "Oh no, he's got to have said more than that. He talks a lot. I'm sorry, I'm not that good at words." And he's just like, "But you guys you said a boat, like
Like, oh man,
Like it's got like a big flag, right? For like the wind, whatever they're called.
Yeah, it's called a flag.
A sail. Yeah, and it's got like cannons sticking out of it, right? Like and like a whole bunch of the ropes, and he's just trying to like it's like and he claps real quick. He's like, a pirate ship.
Yeah, we got a ship, not a pirate ship, like a ship.
He's like, well, the one I saw was definitely a pirate ship. Well, sorry, then I thought I knew what you're talking about. Wish I could be of more help. And he's just like confused and starts like taking a couple steps this way.
What?
He is not the brightest tool in the shed, as he's like, well, sorry guys, and he shrugs and starts like stepping off this way. And he's like, but I gotta find my friend.
Oh,
Let's check it out.
Yo, stop right there.
Philip, what if we help you find your friend?
Philip.
Yo, Philip. And I'm gonna step right here, and I'm gonna like motion Dill and Bing D Boom to come over here, and we go all like circle them around.
He's like, uh-oh.
I gotta tell you a little something, but you gotta keep it to yourself. Let's call it a secret.
He's oh man, I'm not really good with secrets. I'm probably gonna tell my friend when I find him. Is that okay?
Shit. We could yeah, you could tell your friend. That's fine. It's like 6 of us. We got that. I'm a pirate. That's my ship. But you can't tell nobody that's my ship.
Benny Boom had just has his jaw dropped. But then he just quickly straightens up, and it's like you just hear like my cannon kind of lock on to him a little bit, just try to scare him a little bit. Like, yeah, you can't tell anybody, right?
He's like, hey, I get it, you know, like we're parlaying here, right? And he kind of like winks at you, but he does it with both of his eyes.
Exactly.
But he
and you're
thinks
parlaying with the great Captain Scarlet. So you
yeah,
got
he thinks he's winking, but he's definitely blinking. You know what I mean? And he's he's just like I know a bit of pirate speak myself. He's just like I may not have a bounty, but I've sailed with a few crews, and he kind of like brushes off like like some algae off of his shirt, like you know, like he ain't like he's hot shit. You know what I mean? Like
I'm just like nod in agreement. I feel you, bro. Bounties aren't everything.
Yeah, see, you gonna need muscle like that, brawn like that. You feel me?
It's okay, Philip. Kind of pat him on the back. Neither does Bang.
And then the turn of keeping this secret as long as possible, we will help you. Well, I will try to help you find your little big friend, so we can all get out of here. Yeah.
He's like,
playing, Philip.
He's just like, okay, yeah, I like that was like my whole deal. Is I wanted to help finding my friend. This place gives me the creeps, and you guys seem pretty nice, pretty cool, and like I swear I won't tell anybody that you're a big bad pirate captain or anything like that. And he's like, Crimson Pirates, never heard of them.
Right, exactly. See, this guy gets it.
Crimson Pirates.
I'm just Captain, exactly. The Crimson Pirates.
Yo, I'm looking at Bang and Dill and Azrael and Dob. Am I tweaking?
No, Captain, it's all good. I think we should. The best chance of finding his friend is to use the crow's nest back at the ship, right? So,
and he's like, well, if I may introspect, and he's just like scratching his head a little bit. He's like, I'm not really the idea guy, but I think the best way would be to try to convince one of these snails to let me use them as a phone to call him. and he picks up like a big ass fucking banana slug off the ground, and he's like, but I don't know how to dial it. Where's the shell?
Sir. And Cece pulls out her din that looks just like her and is like, you can use mine. It'll call. Do you know the number?
And he
she's kind of speaking real slow at him, like
I'm gonna be completely real.
Brightest.
This guy has a 7 intelligence. He's gonna grab your head, Cece, and try to dial like the side of your face, and he's like, thanks. Like,
his fingers just going into my cheek. Okay, yeah, this is happening now. This is just fucking happening. Okay.
What do you got? Just grab that banana slug and see if I can use it as a din. Like, yo, pretty upgraded technology. Where's Ragnar then?
Just don't eat it. It'll give you a stroke.
How about you just tell me the number?
oh man, I didn't think this far ahead. And then he like tries to hang up Cece's face.
Okay, thanks guys.
and he like kind of shrugs and like shrinks down and like sulks, and he's just like, not a good number, guy. And he's just like, I can only really count. And he like holds out his hands, and he's got like 10 fingers, but they're all webbed, and he's just like, 2? And he's like, that's gotta be one of the numbers, right?
Yeah, all of them is gonna work.
Samia is gonna step forward, and she's just gonna like see, and she's gonna actually, something seems like not right, and she's learned a thing or two about not just like human, but like humanoid type of anatomy and studies and things like that. And she's just like, something, would you, Philip, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, could you take a knee? Could you get a little close? Let me check something out. And he does immediately. He's like, okay. And she's gonna make a medicine check. Well, would you look at that? She sees that his eyes are like very bloodshot, and she's just like, now, are these always bloodshot? And he's just like, what does that mean? Are they always like, are your eyes red normally around the edges? And he's just like, no, they're normally white. And he's just, he looks like, shrugs and looks a little bit confused. She's like, have you eaten anything lately? And he's like, oh yeah, there's tons of berries and like interesting little foods and stuff around here. Like, there's food everywhere. And she's like, she's like, have you rested lately? And he's like, nope. I told myself I wouldn't rest until I find my friend Fugu. And she starts to like piece things together, and she's just kind of like whispers to Lord Azrael, and she's like, I don't know if he's exhausted, or if he's normally like this, or if he might potentially have ingested some sort of toxin. But this guy, there's something fishy here. And then she's like, oh fuck, sorry. Like,
Oh my god.
holy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Bang and be like, did he say he ate the plants around here?
Yeah, I'm just.
He's dying. He's gonna die.
I feel like Lord Azrael would be like, what a shame. Philip's not long for this world. And then say something about how he should have prayed to Davy Loons. Something like that. And yeah. And but Philip is enthusiastic and as attentive as he can be, and Samia is just gonna kind of like be like, okay, well, you should really take it easy, and here, take some of this. And she's gonna give him a potion that she made, which we already rolled for last session. And he's gonna be like, okay. And I shit you not, homie eats the whole glass vial, cork and all. And she's just like, okay, well, that'll work eventually, I guess.
Yeah, you're probably not gonna want that vial back.
It looks like it's gonna go straight to his bloodstream. How would you just cut his mouth?
And he just kind of like smiles, and there's like a little bit of blood that comes down his chin.
Wait, dude, what would your brother do with me?
He's like, well, you're not gonna believe it, but we're kind of treasure hunters.
Treasure?
Oh, we've met someone like you. Not Fugu that we know of, but we met a mermaid treasure hunter not long ago.
Wait. What treasure do you speak of?
He's like the greatest treasure of them all. And he just kind of like starts to gleam, and he does the anime muscle guy like pose, and there's like a little like glint like Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist, and he's just like he's like, we look for sick waves.
Oh man, I thought he was gonna say the One Piece. Yo, you suck.
The huh?
Baby Boom is so uninterested.
He's like, the most precious things in this world are the sick gnar and the moments that you treasure while you're shredding it. And he's just like, well, that's what our bro told us, but he's no longer with us. And he kind of like looks down and is a little bit somber for a second. He's like, but Fugu and we promised that we would live our lives to the fullest in his honor.
Sounds fantastic.
Sounds boring.
He's like, no, I promise you, there's some sick adrenaline, and it gets your blood pumping, and it's like you've never experienced before when you get on the top of. And he starts like explaining just like a ton of surfer lingo, and he's just like, I tell you, there's nothing quite like it. And he's like, I don't know how much of that translates into a pirate ship, but we have these sick boards. Mine broke, unfortunately, but I mean, you could still swim it and like kind of get like a feeling, but like it's something else when you're just like suspended on top of the surface of the water, and it's like there's almost nothing in between you and the raw forces of nature and gravity and all of this forcing pressure. And you see him, he kind of just like jumps, and using a bit of like fishman karate, he like basically stands on top of water like Naruto style, and he poses up like if he's and there's like a little mini wave, and you can kind of see him just kind of like, yeah, and he strikes a pose, and then he like hops back over, and he's just like, it's like that but like times a million.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Going around. I guess we should. You feel it? What direction you think your brother is in? Cause the ship is that way. I'm gonna point in this direction.
I'm not gonna lie, I get pretty turned around. Like I said, I'm not the direction guy, but if I see the area near where I saw your ship, I'm pretty sure I would remember. But like, it's not here. As far as my brother, I have no idea.
Sounds like
We could go to the ship. We can see what's going on, and me and a couple of my crewmates we'll help you figure out where your brother is at.
He's like, I would really appreciate that, like so much. Like typically he and we gravitate towards the coast, you know, so like I guess that would be the best clue I have as to where he is, but I don't even know which way that is. He's like, man, this water is so thick at times I don't even know which way's up, you know what I mean? Like it's this some This is not the gnarly I was talking about before. This is something else. And he like pulls like a clump of algae out of his gill, and he's just like, ugh.
Yeah, we could. That's my cue.
Oh, you're
Never
going.
seen Azrael.
So this is water. This is like straight up water right here. You can go like up this way. Yeah, like but like
Dill. Me and Dill are like tiptoeing around the water.
And yeah, all of these people are like following shortly behind. Sorry, I got a lot of NPCs. Let me drag all of them. But yeah, as you guys kind of continue to move a little bit more forward, again, kind of cautiously, you'll notice a bunch more plants and a bunch more water outstretched in front of you all.
I don't like this.
As it's almost like solid water, like and you guys can kind of like move up along this way and notice that again it's just a ton of water almost in every direction, that you would assume based off of your previous bearings would be closer to the coast. It's almost entirely like extreme wetlands.
Well,
Yeah, I would just walk through here.
Okay,
Well,
so
Captain, let me know if you find the boat.
Yeah, can someone carry me across? I don't do that well in the whole water situation. I kind of like dissolve.
I'm just gonna walk now, Scarlet. Yeah.
big
Wait, huh?
Big
I'm gonna go to
Azra.
Big Az.
Yeah, Big Azra is going to scoop Cece up and like put her on his shoulders, and Lord Azra is going to scoop up Brother Dill and like have him stand on his shoulders. And so he's just like go ahead.
I was gonna flavor that as like instinctively Dill goes and like holds up his back arms, which I know don't work anymore, but that's how I used to pilot him whenever we would go in the water.
Crazy that you're using that phrase. So you guys kind of start murking through. It's like ankle deep immediately, like almost on the dry land. It's already like pretty, like it's like half of your foot is submerged, and it very quickly becomes knee deep, waist high, even chest high to some of the people who are like more normal heighted. To those of you that are a little bit taller, obviously those proportions are a bit skewed. And you guys are gonna know
my token on top of there.
yeah, as you guys kind of like start like wading through, like it feels like very unstable footing, and it's as if like the ground beneath you that you're walking on is like moving, and it feels like there's like you're not alone. You know, in any of these like squares, there's like some other form of life squirming around. Y'all are gonna be in the very top of this section. And there's a few other plotches of like land and water and things like that. The water has now become so deep that you actively cannot reach the bottom as you go through, but there are like clumps of like moss and vines and roots and like broken trees and things like that that you can climb on top of. But you're at a point where you can no longer touch ground unless you are like Big Azra or Lord Azra. Or obviously that boy, Philip.
Disappeared.
He's working on it.
I was like, yo, come here, Philip. Need your help real quick.
Let me get his token out here. Oh, sorry. My Roll20 is absolutely tanking right now. It's wonderful.
Cece has Sanji eyes right now. They're like full of hearts.
Here's Philip. There we go. Okay, so yeah, as you guys kind of like start to like meander through, it becomes immensely more difficult in less than a half an hour's time. And at this point, I'm gonna need Scarlet. Do you have navigator's tools?
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit that for me. Roll that. Based off of your previous bearings and what you can see of the stars like poking through the canopy, you are pretty familiar with your position here still, but you're not confident in the location of quite exactly where the ship is, but you kind of know where you guys are relative to the coast. For the most part, so you're not entirely lost. But yeah, about 30 minutes has passed and you have maintained for the most part your bearings fairly confidently. Philip kind of like walks up and he's just like, what's up? What's good? Hello.
I'm like, hold on, Philip, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull my din and call I'm gonna call Harry.
Okay. There's like a better. And then he like picks up and the den adopts the facial expressions of Harry. And you can see like Harry just goes, hey boss, now's not the best time. Are you guys aren't in the swamp yet, are you?
Yeah, we just arrived. That's actually why I called.
Oh shit.
Kind of described to me your surroundings so I could know where you are.
Well, it's really foggy, so we lit a fire just to have a little bit more visibility, like a campfire situation on a little plot of land nearby. Big mistake. Don't do that. So like it attracted a whole bunch of bugs and we were fighting for our lives, let me tell you. And there were these giant leeches too that like these things could like swallow you whole, and like those were nasty, but they're not that hard to deal with. But like we during the whole fight we made a bunch of noise, and then we this is embarrassing, we saw a guy and it looked like he had like a hook for a hand, and we really couldn't see anything but his silhouette. He was just kind of creeping towards us menacingly, and a few of us, I'm not gonna name any names, we got pretty scared. I'm not gonna say that somebody did or did not scream like a little child, but that may have happened, and I may have lost the ship. I don't know. Am
I close enough to hear this?
You lost the ship?
Softy Boy's probably there. He's probably still there, and like the Gin Project guys are definitely still there. I think. Probably.
But you're not there.
Definitely. Yes, you can hear this, Den. I'm sorry. You can hear the Den conversation, Pete.
Once I hear lost the ship, I'm gonna like bump into Scarlet and grab the Den, and I'm like, where is our ship?
He's just like, hey, I'm trying to find out. Okay, just like you. Just like, this place is creepy, all right? Like, and it's like it's really easy to get turned around here, and like,
you had one job.
Yeah. Okay.
Job.
Sorry, I know, but we also had one Den, so I can't get a hold of any of them. Because I have
you the one that ran.
I have the
Den?
I didn't. Yep. Sorry, I'll take full responsibility, Captain.
All right,
and he looks like super sad. Like
I'm like, listen, all right, listen, Harry. We make mistakes. It's just above the table. How long ago did they start this fire?
And he kind of like looks up to the sky and he's like, shit. Maybe like, I don't know, 45 minutes ago. I don't have like a watch on me.
Shit.
But I'm starting to get really hungry, man, and I don't trust any of this stuff.
All right, listen. Just you keep the din on you as best as possible. Don't you run into anybody? You call me. You let me know. Especially any big blue people that like really really big.
What does that mean? What?
Oh, we ran into a fishman named Philip, and he lost his brother.
Oh.
His brother's really big.
And Philip kind of butts in, and he's just like, "Did you say a hook arm?" And Harry's like, "What the?" And like on Harry's end, the den kind of like starts to look like a hammerhead shark, and he's like, "What the?" Yeah, a hook arm. And then Philip's just like, "Oh, okay, never mind." And Harry's like confused. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then like out of nowhere, Scarlet, you hear Harry squeal like a little child, which I'm not gonna do right now. Like I'm not gonna roleplay that, but he's just like, ah, and like then you hear like plop, and Harry's facial expressions are no more on the den.
Like Harry,
Was the screen clear enough for us to hear outside of the den?
No.
I'm gonna keep the line open,
The line is open.
and I'm gonna tell him.
And the
I'm gonna tell
den
Phil.
is just a blank, expressionless den.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it just in case like somebody or Philip or not Philip, somebody or Harry tries to pick it up. I'm gonna tell everybody we gotta move fast. The Harry done got scared by some hook man and ran off like a little baby.
Well, probably
Everybody is on this ship.
it'd probably be a good idea to meet up with Russ. He can track stuff, right? I know it's a little damp around here, but maybe we can retrace his steps from the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying
I'm like, yo, Philip, your brother have a hook for a hand?
No, he's got a lot of spikes though. He's a big guy. Like almost like a balloon.
Is his brother a pufferfish?
I don't know. I don't even know if he knows if his brother has a hook for a hand.
And
Alright,
you
we
start
gonna
to
keep on moving.
hear almost like footsteps dragging through water, like wet squishing, like almost plopping through the den, and the den itself looks confused, and then the den starts to look scared, and its eyes widen and its mouth goes like it's like making like the NL face, and then out of nowhere you hear garlic, and it shuts off.
We gotta go.
So that other den definitely just died, right? I point at the den and I look at everyone else like incredibly worried.
That sounds like a dying din to me, Davos.
I think you're right. I'm so scared. Big ass, hold me closer.
I'm just gonna be like, I agree with the captain. We should get going. Nobody's gonna punish Harry before I punish him for our ship.
And
yeah, I never thought the day would come I'd be pissed at him, but I don't get his thought process right now. I'm really worried about the ship.
But it sounds like he's in a bit of trouble, and if that guy with the hook isn't his brother, then it could be anyone. Let's get a move on, don't you think, Captain?
Absolutely. And like Scarlet like bends down and touch her ankles. It's like, Captain Jets activate. And start swimming through the water.
Philip is gonna be like, wait, hold on. It's like, this water sucks. Like, you do not want to be swimming in it. I love swimming and I don't even want to. He's gonna pick up this big fallen tree right here, and he's gonna like put it across his shoulders, and he's just gonna be like, here. And he like picks up Davos by like his like by like the scruff and like puts him on the log and like lets him sit there. And then he like goes to pick up Scarlet as well. I'm assuming Scarlet's not gonna let that happen, but he's offering a spot for those of you who are not tall enough.
I'll hop on.
Yeah,
for sure. Let's do it.
So everybody, for the most part, is going to be out of the water, except for Big Azra, Lord Azra, and Philip. But I'll just drag you guys kind of as like a group because that's easier for me. There we go. But yeah, so like you guys kind of clear this little gap, and I'll move y'all to this little patch of land right here, which seems to be connected to another one, and it shifts almost as if like this is like one solid like mass of land as you guys kind of like go to move across it, but it's stable for the most part. And he just got like Philip just kind of looks beneath him and he's like, I wonder if I could pick this whole thing up. Nah. And you guys are quickly able to like hop across to this other like little landmass here next to this tree. At this point, I need active perceptions. Again, passives are taking a -5 right now.
I'm bad on the double click.
You're
First
fine.
one.
Is the perception a disadvantage or is it flat?
We'll just do flat because all you guys are like perceiving together. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
You guys are noticing that it seems that those of you that pass are noticing what seems to be like a plopping, almost like a uncoordinated, cacophonous, like a dragging through the swamp in front of you, and it doesn't seem like human to you. Something about it seems very unsettling. Philip doesn't hear shit, and he is going to continue to move forward.
Can I ask Lord Azrael to duck his head underwater real quick, see if he sees anything?
He can't see shit in this water. I'm gonna be completely real.
What the hell is that?
Them zombies.
Yo, I see that, Vex? Do Scarlet see that?
All of you will now be able to see it after moving forward. Poking out of the water, just the forehead at first, it seems, and then their eyes and jaw and chest, and of these disgusting forms that seem to have that same little flower, as your captain called it, sticking out of the back of their necks, with their arms stretched forward, moss draping off of them as they dredge through the water. They all inch just a little bit closer.
I call the bald one.
Yeah. Pretty much immediately picks out his sniper rifle and takes aim for, I guess, the middle one.
You can each make
Cece sits up on Big Az's shoulders and points her crossbow at this one, the third one.
you can each make a round, or you can each take a free round right now.
So Dill is going to be aiming at the one at the top.
One at a time, yo.
He's going to be specifically aiming for the balloon-like thing on the back.
Okay, so you're calling your shot?
Yeah.
On which one? Okay. Dill, go ahead and roll to hit. Cece, which one are you aiming for?
This third one right here.
Like the one in the middle? I'm confused. What?
I'm pinging it.
Use the arrow.
Gif is very fitting.
Yeah, you're talking to the blind guy.
It would be the third one from the bold one, or the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, the bottom one. That's what you.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So 25 hits, which is what both of you rolled. Bang D Boom rolled a. What is the 4 from? Is that Bless?
Bless was still checked, but I don't think I have Bless on there.
Yeah, so a 10 does not hit. And then
Ignore it. Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Did anybody else make an attack so far?
I'm trying to re-invoke.
Of 14 on which one?
There's the ball guy.
The bald guy. Okay.
One at the top.
So that's a 17 damage from me.
Heard that. 14 does in fact hit Scarlet. 17 damage to this one that you dragged out. Okay.
Let me just dial in my scope a little bit.
12.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And then Cece, did you roll damage?
Specifically,
Yeah, I did 8 damage. 6 piercing, 2 poison. Because I used delicate a lot of this work.
Okay.
specifically the balloon on it.
Got you. So, yeah, this thing, Dill, the one that you shot at, you're going to see just completely plop down and like dead weight, like one of those like inflated arm to be flailed car dealership thingies, like that just like ran out of gas entirely.
Flying two men.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
So you're gonna notice that it is like completely just like submerged as it loses all gas and just falls plunks straight down into the water. The one that Cece hit just has like an arrow like sticking out of its like neck or forehead or something, but it doesn't seem affected at all. And the one that Scarlet shot out at seems to have like taken like a serious blow to the shoulder, and its arm seems to be like hanging on by a thread. Like the bones there have been disconnected, and only like moss and flesh it still keeps that arm attached.
Dill whispers to the crew to aim for the balloons.
Does anybody else have any ranged attacks they wanted to make in this first little bit before we get into the nitty-gritty?
Can Lord Ezra throw a scalpel?
He can. And so Samia's gonna use a sling. She does not have.
Not on the map.
He should
Lord
be.
Ezra's underneath me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I see it now.
So she got a.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
She got a 15, which is not blessed. Let me check that off. My bad. But that is still going to hit the one she was aiming for. Again, though, it doesn't seem like it has any effect for one reason or another. Let me just roll the damage to make sure. Oh yeah, no way. And then Lord Azrael, sorry, my roll 20 is doing jack shit right now. Let me see if Dalt Wisney has anything ranged. Yeah, she's gonna yell out to this thing, and she's just gonna be like, I knew something stunk around here. Looks like we found out what it was. And she's gonna try to viciously mock these things. Literally has no effect whatsoever. And she's just like, shit, I've been thinking about that since the graveyard. Like, and Dill, I'm gonna move you just so I can click on his token, because that is something that I need to do real quick. Let's see. Lord Azrael, what the hell is going on with his sheet right now?
Did he at least listen to my wording?
He can throw a scalpel for sure. I don't think this is macroed to be ranged, but and I don't think he'd want to get rid of one. So I think he probably will do his once daily. Oh, he's got a revolver. He'll just pull out the gun.
Pull out the blicky.
20 hits.
Let's go.
Ignore the rage damage, so it's just 7. Okay, anybody else have anything that they can do ranged wise?
Oh, I guess I could shoot my cannon with my bow, can't I?
Yeah.
Your cannon is gonna be so much dead weight here. Like after the combat, or like, yeah, like you can absolutely put your cannon out, but just know that that's gonna be a bitch to get through this swamp.
Why? It's on my shoulder.
Okay.
He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
You're just a little guy.
Yeah, just a little guy. He's not bothering nobody.
Oh, he might be bothering us.
No, he's not bothering anybody, apparently.
He blasts himself 5 feet back. It like lands in front of Cece's feet, or Cece and Big Azra's feet. Big Azra picks it up. He's like, "Oh, you dropped this, buddy." He's like,
I'm right off some of the water. I mean, he's obviously water resistant.
bro. Okay, so each of these individuals is now going to be able to go. Big Azra is gonna be like, he's just kind of looking at these things. He has no idea what's going on. He's like, "Whoa, guys, why are you firing at all of these old men with serious injuries?"
Because they're already dead, Big Azra. Wait, I thought the one at the top was dead weight.
Since I'm sitting on his shoulders, I'm gonna be like, "Baby boy, look, those big things on their necks, that's what's controlling them. Those are dead bodies moving at us right now."
As this all happens, the one that you thought was dead weight, Dill, is like crawling its way through the muck, and seems to be like twice as slow as the other ones right now. As these guys are all like kind of using their full movement, that one seems to be just like struggling, but it is still moving. And as these guys close in, I think that's it. This guy's got 5 more feet of movement. This guy has 5 more feet of movement. As they all close in, they are going to start to like shriek, and with outstretched arms, oh, Davos is going in for it.
I didn't click anything.
Okay.
I don't know why that sent. I apologize.
Hey, don't talk about it, man. Be about it.
Dude, no, the ghosts are real, dude. I was wrong. The ghosts are real.
Oh my god.
They're controlling me. Oh.
Can we see through this tree line?
Yeah, so the
way?
tree, yeah, it like there's like a trunk, but like all the foliage is like up above most of your eye lines. Does that make sense? But yeah, as these guys like are approaching, their arms are like stretched forward, and you can see their mouths start to open wide. And instead of seeing like a tongue and teeth, you see what can only be described as like a blood red looking pincushion of sorts, and the needles start bending like a nail being hammered down sideways, like and like facing towards you all, as you feel like you hear this like spine tingling shriek rip through the air around you, as this like cacophonous, discordant like rattle comes out of each of their open mouths, or in like throat wounds and things like that. You can see one of them has like a crossbow bolt sticking out of its like eye hole from Cece. Another one has like a rusted like hand axe like shoved in between its ribs, and like these are like decomposing, like rotting like carcasses that seem to like the little like spore sack pin cushion is like kind of pushing out of their mouth a little bit, almost like when a worm like vomits up its stomach to eat its like meal, like and these things are like lurching towards you. Big Azrael is immediately just like, holy shit, and he like flinches. Cece, make a deck save. We'll see if he bucks you off, like, you know, like you're fine. It was a DC 12. So he's just like, sorry, I'm cool, we're cool. Samia is just like taking notes and is like, fascinating. And she's gonna like kind of like move to like get behind people, and she's just like, you guys can handle this, right? Like, and she's just gonna like scooch back. Dalt is just like, I don't like the sound of this, guys, and she's like kind of freaking out. Philip is just kind of like looking at these, and she's just like, oh, thank God, other people. You guys can help me find my brother too, right? These guys are so nice. And he's just like trying to like move forward and greet them. And he's gonna like actually actively step
Philip,
up
no!
with the captain, like and he just like stops, like a skirt, and he's like, huh? And he like kind of takes a look at them. And he scratches his head.
The death corpse of the swamp.
Does anybody else have any initial reactions that they wanted to get out of the way?
Yeah, Cece yells at Dylan. It's like, is this one of those devil fruit things you keep going on about that you made up?
First, I didn't make them up. Second, possibly?
Fair enough.
Wild. Captain Scarlet, what say you in this moment?
I am ready to jump off and cut these zombies down.
Okay. Before we get on with y'all's next moments in combat, Scarlet, roll a Constitution save. With 14, you feel a similar tingling down your spine and goosebumps kind of covering your forearms again. You smell nothing rotting, nothing foul, nothing decaying, nothing offensive. You smell something sweet. And your vision begins to strobe slightly once more. And almost like you were under the effects of Dill's powers, you can can't really hear any of your companions around you, and that you look around like come on guys, let's fuck them up, like, and you see some of their mouths moving and you don't really hear anything coming out of them. And for a second, your mind almost goes blank. Your vision almost blacks out. And then everything comes rushing back again, except your sense of smell. And you shake your head and realize the gravity of the situation. You're back brought into the moment, and you can hear your crew readying and stancing up, and you kind of like shake off the goosebumps and the chills and wipe off the sweat from your brow and prepare your greatsword.
I smell danger lurking around this very corner.
And what will you do, Scarlet? We'll say it's your turn.
I would like. So we were on the whatchamacallit, what's that? The tree, right?
Yeah, some of you might have hopped off at this point, like, because you're on like solid ground and right underneath you. There is water just in front of you. Like, these guys are just now crawling out of the water and onto the land in front of, like, that's like where the edge is. You know what I mean? You can kind of see the different textures there, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna just walk up to it. I guess no. Actually, I'm gonna like climb, like on top of Philip's head, like jump off his head on top of it.
Okay.
And then attack the team.
Okay, go ahead and roll. 10. It's almost like as you bring your sword down, you begin to see double. And the one that you swipe at wisps away as almost something spectral in your mind, and you thought for sure you cut this thing clean in half. But to the rest of your crew, your party, your friends here, you swung at the thin air just to the left of this creature. And no damage seems to have befallen it.
Ain't no way I'm off my game today.
First mate, you want to be next up?
Yeah, I'm going to aim at this one that just now appeared into my vision and started making its way. I'm going to once again be aiming for the balloon at the back of it.
Okay, so you're calling your shot.
Same thing.
You gotta not. You gotta not. You gotta not, brother. Oh my god. You notice that the one that you shot at, your arrow flew true and fast and swift through the boggy, misty air, and as your arrow seemingly connected, this thing lurched backwards, and it looks like it almost like hit this thing square in its head. But as it like leans its shoulders back towards you and its head becomes clear and in plain sight once more, it caught your arrow in between its teeth and snaps it in half.
Well, I'm going to take that as my sign to go ahead and like crouch down behind Lord Azrael's arms, like his limp arms, and I'm going to attempt to hide behind his arms on top of him.
No roll necessary. You'll succeed.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you would anyways. I think with your minimum, you would have, anything but a crit fail, you would have succeeded for sure. A crit fail, you would have face planted. But like, next up, Davos, is there anything you want to do? Again, you're on firm ground where you currently are. You can kind of see where the textures bleed out into the water, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna slip through everyone here. And then I can get up. I guess I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna stand on that. I want to come up to this guy. Quarterstaff, two-handed, just a trusty baseball bat style swing.
Nice. At 22 absolutely
And it
hits.
makes the Smash Bros hit, the Smash Bros home run sound effect.
I don't even know how to make that noise. Yeah, like we all know it. Like, go ahead and roll damage.
I don't know if bludgeoning is gonna do anything to this guy, but let's see.
Huge. Okay, where are you aiming at? How is this going to just like straight across center mass, or like you going for an extremity? How paint me a picture.
Let me go for the forearm. Let me go for the forearm and try to like I don't know really what to describe it from, but I want to like try to crumple it.
Okay. Left or right?
Left.
This thing's left arm completely rips off from its torso, and you can just see it plop down and splash into the shallow, like ankle deep water near this thing's like feet. And this still has one arm outstretched in front of you, and its mouth agape with just this absolutely heinous looking blood red like pincushion spore sac, like with its needles bent towards you. This thing seems completely unaffected by having its arm blown off by you just now by sheer blunt force.
Wow. Okay, nice. I think I'll leave it there for that.
Okay.
Moment.
Bang D boom.
Okay. I guess first thing I'll do is I'm gonna cast Bless on myself, Scarlet, and Davos.
Got it. Everybody make sure you check that for your saving throws and attack rolls in the appropriate modifier fields. You are also holding concentration. Bang D boom.
I'm just taking down the spell slot. And then I'm going to shoot my cannon at the balloon above the one of these three that they didn't engage. I don't know, where is, like, in terms of like is it just sitting on top of their head?
It's like propped out of the back of their neck. So it's like a little bit backwards, but yes, like above their head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, basically, I'm just gonna try to like blow off half of this thing's head with this force ballista. See
Which one are you aiming at, Bang?
This one over here. This guy.
Okay.
Okay, the bottom one again.
The bottom one. Ta-da.
A 15 does in fact hit.
Hello. Hello.
And that's force damage. Okay.
Is indeed.
This thing is going to be blown back 5 feet, and you notice its head is sent off like a football dozens of yards off into the mist as its body, its torso and limbs left below begin to dead weight and collapse down into the ichor below it, and there seems to be just like a caustic, like eruptive cloud just like that, like emits out of its like neck hole, its fresh wound.
Okay. After seeing that, I'm gonna shout, to the guys that are fighting close combat. Be careful about smashing the head. There's some sort of powder coming out. Try to create some distance if you can.
Okay. So that was your full turn. Cece.
Yeah, I'm going for the one top right. Not the one Dill attacked, but the one beside it.
This guy?
I'm gonna cast the one beside him to the right.
This
of him.
guy.
Yes, sir.
Got
I'm
it.
gonna cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay. So you're
on it.
also concentrating?
Yep. And I'm gonna aim for the thing on its neck, and I'm also going to be using Delicate Lattice Work.
Okay. Make sure you have that checked. 16 does
16
hit. Nice.
Yep, 15 damage. Hello. Let's go.
As you hit this thing, Dill had already successfully like hit the like the balloon thing once, and this thing had already been like moving at like half as much speed. You kind of hear like a pop, and you can see like just blood red and like pale like spores like erupting out of it as it falls to the floor, and it's continuing to try to walk like as that's all happening, and it just like its limbs start to like give up underneath it, and you could see like it's like continuing to try to like crawl forward just by its like teeth as its like legs and arms stop working for it, and then it's just like gargling like the shallow liquid of the swamp of the bog water right here.
You.
Yeah, I think Bang's right, guys. If you're fighting them close combat, back up before that thing on the back of their neck explodes. Whatever came out of that thing was nasty, and if it gets in your system, who knows what it'll do to you?
Samia is going to actively, she's basically take like a martial medicine check right now. Pretty good. Not gonna lie, pretty good. Lord Azrael is gonna shoot another one. Probably the same one that Dill was going for.
Let's go.
That's insane. Okay. Again, ignore the rage, my bad, but 17 piercing is huge right there. See, and you guys say I don't roll crits. Get the heck out of here. Like, or I don't roll good.
No, that's Lord Azra critting.
Okay. Bruh. Dalt is going to like, she's just like let me see if this will work, and she like shouts out to this one right here, and she's actually gonna like walk a little bit closer towards it, not much but a little bit, and she is going to attempt to try to reason with it and charm it like we recently saw her do with a corn husky. And she's just kind of like yell out to it, and she's like, "You and me, we are the same." And she's gonna try to like talk no jutsu this thing basically, and get no response whatsoever. And she's just like, I don't understand. Why can I hear? But it can't. It doesn't seem to. And she like looks a little bit confused, and she's just like, and she's actively like. Like it's like the algebra equations like flying past like that one gif, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's gonna be her turn, and then Big Azra is he is actively frightened, which means he cannot move closer towards any of these things, but he's just gonna like be like, yeah, Cece, you got it right. You can see him just fine. Like, you need me to like be on my tiptoes or any like I
rub his hair and I'm like, you just relax, buddy. I got this.
I could get further back if you want, me to be, if you want more distance in between you and them, I would respect that greatly. Just say the word.
I'll let you know, and I pat his head.
But he doesn't have any ranged capabilities on him right now, and he is physically incapable of moving closer towards any of these things. I believe everybody has had a round. Is that correct?
I think so.
Philip.
Philip he's just kind of like, but if they're dead, then how are they? Oh man, Fugu was the guy who really knew about all this kind of stuff. And he just looks like really confused, and he's just like, so what do I do? And he's like, well, I mean, my friend, my brother always told me that I was the muscle, but like, I'm not really much for strategy or anything. Like, he would always tell me what to do. And he's just kind of like looking around like, the fuck do I do? Like,
I'd hang back for now, you know, into these guys.
Throw a giant tree at him.
Close combat doesn't seem to be the way to go, so.
He's like, you want me to stay away from him? And he's just like, and he snaps and he's like, I got it. And he's going to attempt to make a water shot, which is something that you guys have seen Holly do. And he basically does like a palm strike forward and like a water bender almost. Some of the bog water slaps at like the one probably by the captain, because she's been really nice to Philip. So he's going to make a water shot real quick. Hold on. I swear I had this macroed. I'm just gonna roll flat. I know his modifier. He is in fact gonna hit, which is gonna be this. Cool. It's gonna be 11 damage at the one in front of Scarlet. And he's just like he's like, wow, oh well, this water sucks. He's like, I can normally do a lot better than that, I swear. He's like, but this stuff is so gross. He's like, and he's just kind of like looking around like, did I do good? Did I? He clearly, this man is not meant to be left alone. Like, this is gonna be Philip's full turn, and now we go to the opponents. These creatures. I'm gonna roll 2 harmless d20s. We love to see those, right?
I wouldn't say harmless. Potentially harmless.
This one that Bang D Boom had shot the head off of its shoulders starts like kind of like squirming on the ground, almost like it's trying really hard to do like the worm, and its arms like bend backwards, and it starts like crab crawling almost like towards like this direction. And it's gonna be able to get to about here and attempt to grapple at your ankles, Bang D Boom, with its headless form. As you can see, there are 2 more down along its like spinal cavity, like 2 more like little fleshy balloon spore sac things, and it's going to attempt to grapple you.
Okay.
It is a crit fail So it is not going to be able to do that at all, no matter what you roll to contest. It fails. But yeah, you are grossed out by it. It like tries to grab at your peg leg, and you're just like, fuck that.
Yeah. Body for moving. I guess. Oh, it's not my turn. I guess I can't shoot it.
Yeah, Davos, the one in front of you, is going to try to reach out, and I'm gonna give it disadvantage because it has one arm, but it will attempt to grapple you. No way. No way. There's no way.
No, you can't touch it.
You juke this thing, and you're like, gross, and it just like fails massively. That's crazy that just happened. Holy
Davos
shit.
has the zombies crit fail. Davos has the same reaction as that guy in RoboCop when his friend has just been doused in radioactive liquid. He's like,
Oh my god. Wild. Actually, wild. Give me just a second. The one in front of Scarlet is now about to attempt to grapple you, Scarlet. So you can attempt to beat that with either an acrobatics or an athletics. Yeah, it's able to like grab around you, but you're nimble enough to like evade from its like grasp. But these things are, that one specifically seems much faster than the other two that you've kind of witnessed with your perception. This thing's like crawling with like bent backwards arms and on its knees and like crab crawling its way over to Bang D Boom. This one's missing an arm. This thing in front of you, Scarlet, is in like peak form. This one equally is in peak form and is going to shamble up on Dalt Wisney and attempt to grapple her. That's 6. That's very easily beatable. Let's see if she got it. Normal. She has acrobatic. Oh, she beats that on a flat. Yeah, like so she is she's like able to dodge out of its way and is just like, ew, gross. Oh no. And with these things kind of encroaching in around you, we're gonna call it here right after another plop. And this one seems a bit faster than the others. Steps through. And with arms outstretched, a large, inflated, spiky pufferfish fish man standing at about 8 foot tall with a balloon like spore bubble stretched out from behind his head begins lurching towards you all.
Uh-oh.
And with a blank expression and it covered in moss and vines and algae, it stares directly towards the captain and right behind it to Philip, as Philip yells out, "Fugu! Oh, thank God you're okay!" To be continued.
My heart is breaking for Philip.
That's cruel.
Great session.
That is. Yeah, what an amazing session.
Yeah, that was very unexpected. I knew something was up with the pre-session music. It was so Halloween vibes. Oh my god, that was awesome.
So, yeah, this is fun. This is everything I've ever wanted in a campaign so far. I love this. I'm glad you guys had fun. We're still in the thick of it, and we'll pick right up here next time with the Scarlet Pirates. I got a cover story to read here in just a moment. But yeah, if anybody else has anything else they want to say, anything they want to outro or plug, feel free. The floor is yours, my beautiful players.
Chat, thanks for joining us. Lots of fun tonight. W session. We soloed as usual. More soloing to come against these zombies, I think. I'm stoked for next week's session already.
So am I. Also, go check out my channel. Me and Mikey play D&D over there as well sometimes. I think we got a session coming up in like 2 weeks possibly. So just be on the lookout over there. The Sakura Pirates, you know what they say.
Yeah, it should be September 19th.
Hell yeah, I'll definitely be there. Mikey's Men Mutilate? Something. But yeah, so yeah, link in the description for StrawHatLucas' channel. You can also catch him, myself, and brother Dill typically discussing most recent One Piece chapters on Saturdays, and then doing some other fun kind of streams and stuff throughout the week over on the Eternal Dawn channel. It's been a vibe. Also, Balincc, did you just put out a YouTube video? I think I saw something like that. And then I've got a video that I'm working on myself that I'll be putting out soon. I was hoping to have it done by this session, but IRL's been crazy. And then I'm also cooking up another D&D project that I'll be streaming on my channel soon, so you heard it here first, folks. But make sure you join my Discord, link in the description, Vex's Lurking Legends, to get all of the most recent updates. You can also support me on Patreon, link in the description as well, if you want access to some of my high-res like 4K battle maps and stuff like that. Some that have been featured in the campaign and have been retouched up a little bit are available on there currently, and I'm adding more every Monday, except for yesterday, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow because your boy's been busy. But got a lot cooking, got a lot in the pipes, and I cannot wait for next session. We'll probably be going on break again after next session, for at least a week or maybe two, but I might have something fun planned. But we are going to be down a player for that third week. But holidays are always a little bit hard for D&D stuff, but we're gonna make sure to try and keep you as updated as possible. Like I said, either make sure you turn on notifications so you can catch all of my community posts, or join the Discord, link in the description, so you can stay completely up to date. But I'm gonna go ahead and read. What's that?
I'm gonna go ahead and shout out. Check out Dire Regulus's channel on Saturday for Group 3 over at 6 p.m. EST. We are gonna be hopefully wrapping up the Hagen coronation arc, where we are ruining the Hagen coronation and taking out all the bad guys that are related to the Hagens. So, if you want to see some more fights in D&D One Piece, you know where to find us.
Hell yeah, link in the description as well there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get to the cover story, and then we'll go ahead and close out and see y'all next week. This one is titled Absolute Power Corrupts. Interior: a conference room with high ceilings, a large rectangular table, golden and black banners, flags, and tapestries lining the walls, and a frosted tint to the windows. Stacks of papers, outstretched maps, and chilled glasses of water speckled the table as a decorated officer issued out a stratagem. The uniforms looked not of the world government, but of a well-established kingdom. Many other officers nodded and paid close attention to the points at hand. Infiltration and information are the main objectives here. We will not be dirtying our hands with the Navy's fights. Agreed. If they want our ammunition exchanged on their battlefields, they'll have to pay full price. Don't forget shipping and handling. Silence. The whole fleet will be setting out first thing in the morning. Sir,